thanks to the support as a channel member, Firesoul. Oh, everything is coming up Wembley at the moment. We're continuing to benefit from all of our opponents putting their reserves out against us because our reputation's so low. The new stadium is on the way, and the board have given me more transfer budget and wage budget to play with in January. We might just go and win the league. We can't win the league this season. We might just go and win the league this season. Hello and welcome to part 127 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you in the Premier League, two away games. We're away against Manchester City and Burnley. Very similar challenges, as I'm sure you can imagine. Since you were last with me, we did play through a bunch of games, as you can see, as you would expect from a newly promoted team, very much a mixed bag. We've won some, we've lost some, we've drawn some, but that seems to be enough to leave us in 7th place in the Premier League, which is not what I would expect. And I would say we are probably one win away from being safe from relegation, especially with Middlesbrough having the points deduction and Norwich just being absolutely pathetic. We are, we're looking very, very solid. 35 points on the board. Say it very quietly. We're only 3 points outside the Champions League qualification spots. I do not anticipate qualifying for Europe. In fact, what I expect to happen here in the second half of the season is everyone who was putting the reserves out in the first half of the season and we were having these narrow defeats and sometimes pulling off unexpected victories. We beat Arsenal 1-0, for example. I expect second go around to face the first teams, and I think we're going to probably start to tumble down the table in the second half of the season, which is fine. We expect to. I've done first seasons in the Premier League with small clubs before. It is to be expected. We will probably end the season badly, and that's fine. But money continues to roll in. We were given £8 million to spend in January, plus an extra £100,000 a week on the wage budget. We've already spent some of it. If we have a look at who's already in, we've signed Ian Vaughan, who's a 21-year-old Welsh international right-back, already got 10 caps for Wales, 3 stars of current ability, 5 stars of, or 4.5 stars of potential. He's not quite as good as Castro, but does have the potential to become very, very good. Was playing for Swansea, only really as a fringe player, only started 8 games for Swansea in the league this season. But that was enough to convince me to throw £6.5 million at him off the back of those 8 games plus 44 games on loan at League One Blackburn last year. But Ian Vaughan is in, and as you can see, he is, roughly equivalent ability to Castro. It does mean Amma is probably dropping down the pecking order a little bit, although I still imagine he's going to be a centre-back if we use him anywhere. There are a couple of other potential transfers going on as well. Hollywood wants to leave the club. We've accepted a £2 million offer from Fiorentina for him. Conor McBride is going to be going out on loan. Will Kennedy wants to leave as well. Rory Murray and Nicolau, their first and second choice strikers from last season, both also wanting to leave. We've accepted £135,000 offer from Juventus for Rory Murray. I don't know what's gone on at Juventus, but they're down in 16th in Serie A. They are having a terrible time and trying to sign a player off of us for almost nothing, a guy who can't get in our team. So I don't know if they're having financial problems or Manchester United style problems, but Juventus not having a nice time. And if they think Rory Murray is their answer, they have very, very big problems. We're waiting for a work permit on this guy as well as a new 6'4" centre-back, Cameroonian international Giovanni Agume. Even if he doesn't get the work permit, we've not used any of our slot things. I forget what they're called. So we can just give him one of those. So he's definitely going to be coming in. He'll be our new record signing at £10 million. I also noticed our bank loan is almost paid off. Remember when that almost destroyed us? We owe less than 50 grand on that now. We should just pay it off. We are starting to run up the transfer debt though, so don't you worry. But even with the transfer debt, the balance of the club is so high that we still effectively have zero debt as a football club with the new stadium on the way at some point, hopefully. Wouldn't that be nice? Wish they could rush it. Let's go play Manchester City. This is the team. It's slow coming goal. A back four of Graben. Graben has been getting a bit of a run in the team. Livingston broke his leg. So Graben has been playing quite a lot. We've given him a new contract. We've also been playing Martin at left back and playing Smith at centre back quite a lot. But we go to Graben with Martin today. Obviously, if we get that new boy, Martin probably does move out to left back at that point. He has signed a new contract extension because he had a release clause. The release clause is now gone, but at 5'9", He really does just have to be a left back, doesn't he? But we're continuing to play him at centre back at the moment because he's the best guy we've got there alongside Fanimo at the moment. So Grabban, Martin Fanimo and new boy Vaughan at the back. And then Dixon and Christodoulou in midfield. Duffy, Adeyemi, who is now actually in our Premier League squad. This is going to be his Premier League debut. He played in the Cup as well. We are a little bit light in this position. Mortillero, is that his name? Where is he? Mortillero, He's past it at 34. He is past it. Mustache or no mustache. We need a new attacking midfielder. Once we've got this defender in, that's the next job. But for now, we give Adeyemi a go. Williams on the right and then Carstairs up front. We are still in the FA Cup as well. So there's the potential for an FA Cup run. Obviously, we're no longer looking at the FA Cup for money. We make enough money off of Premier League TV stuff now. We're now looking at the FA Cup as a thing to potentially win. We're 7th in the Premier League. A team who are 7th in the Premier League can very much win the FA Cup. We got knocked out of the EFL Cup in the quarterfinal. Chelsea absolutely smashing us. It was the first time this season anyone had absolutely battered us. And I think it's because getting towards the business end of a cup competition, they actually put the first team out against us for the first time. And yeah, we felt it. We were never even close to being in that game. And I'm not sure if this is Manchester City's first team or if we're still going to benefit from our tiny reputation into the second half of the season as well. But at the moment, it's 0-0. City only beating us narrowly. I think it was a 1-0 win for them earlier in the season. First day of the season, in fact, I think it was. And it would be very nice if we could hold on for a draw, pick up a point. We're always up for picking up a point away against the big teams in the Premier League. No highlights until the 42nd minute, but it is now City who get the highlight through this throw, and they are trying to build something up. It's a lovely pass, and Slocum just doesn't stand a chance. If that's onside, which is a big if, the referee's got his finger in his ear. He might be getting called offside here, but if that's onside, it's unstoppable. It's disallowed. Huzzah! See, we did stop it. We stopped it with our excellent offside trap. I mean, that is very, very marginal. He probably counts himself a little bit unlucky for that being called offside, but we will definitely take that luck, ride that luck, and we will be very, very happy as a result. 0-0 at half time. If we can hold on for the second half, huzzah. Like I said yesterday, it's the same script as yesterday, really. Like I said in the last episode, when we were away against Chelsea, it doesn't really matter what happens in this one. We're not banking on getting any kind of return out of this game. We just don't want to get absolutely smashed, because if we get absolutely smashed, it has morale implications, which then roll on into the games that we should be winning. Not that we need to worry too much about winning anything really for the rest of the season. We're 22 points clear of 18th place. Although we're obviously not mathematically safe and won't be for a little while yet, we're as good as safe at this point. We're not getting relegated from here. Famous last words. But I don't think we're getting relegated from here, so we don't need to worry too much about that. Grabban giving the ball away. They'd lunged forward to try and make the interception, missed completely, and it leaves us in a little bit of trouble. And is that offside again? That one felt... It's Vaughan on his debut with an own goal. Bless his cotton socks. Castro will be back in for the next one then. We don't need to see the replay. Poor chap. It's his first ever game in the Premier League and he's away against Manchester City. Cut him a little bit of slack. I thought that deserved his own goal there. Deserved his yellow card. He's not having a nice time. Right. Nicolau. In fact, we're not going to bring Nicolau on. We're going to move Williams up front. That's who we played while Carstairs was unavailable. And then we'll put Dabo out on the right-hand side. We will take off Vaughan and bring on Castro. We don't need to inflict further punishment on him. And Kerslake can come on for Adeyemi, who hasn't looked like he's really got anything to offer. So I suspect we'll be sending him back. I think he's on loan from Brighton. I suspect we'll be sending him back there. The chap we had on loan from Manchester United has been recalled because he didn't play enough. So we kind of need a right winger and an attacking midfielder. There's still lots to do on this squad, but a lot of it is probably going to have to wait for the summer now, because although we have been given more money, players are so expensive at this level. So we're just going to have to build it gradually. Right, Nicolau comes on, even though he is under offer potentially to be on his way out of the club. Smith can come on as well to play centre-back for the last few minutes. We have gone to an attacking mentality, but like I say, if it ends 1-0, we're completely comfortable with that. We don't need to go bonkers. We're absolutely going to go very attacking if it's still 1-0 with 5 minutes to go. It's not going to be. It's 2-0. And now we just have to hope that they don't go and grab a couple more, because this is the kind of result that does send you into a little bit of a spiral. I talked about potentially playing against the best 11s of these teams in the second half of the season, and I think we're potentially experiencing it for the first time here. Manchester City, quite a good football team. Duffy trying to get something going on the counter-attack. He's not quite been the force this season that he was last year when he was the unexpected star man. But Christodoulou is certainly flourishing as a Premier League player, as is Fanamo. There's certainly some good young players we've got here. If anything, it's the older guys we brought in for a bit of experience and Premier League quality who've let us down. Graben, back to Duffy. Duffy to Graben again. Cross comes in, looking for Dabo, who is one of those old men. Nicolau has hit the post, I think. He's never going to make it as a striker for us, is he? He did score a couple of goals. I forget it was who against. Earlier on in the season, he came off the bench when Carstairs got injured and grabbed a couple of goals. I think it was against Liverpool or somebody like that. It was a surprise. I thought we were finally going to get what we thought we were getting when we spent all that money on him. And since then, he's offered nothing. And he's offered nothing again there. And actually, if you look at the XG, we probably feel a little bit hard done by to have lost that 2-0. A draw probably would have been a fair result there, but they've got better strikers and a better goalkeeper than us. So I guess when XG is level, you still back Manchester City to win the game. Right, now we just need to make sure we beat Burnley. A win against Burnley and I will declare us safe. But before the Burnley game, we are getting stuck into some transfers. We're doing January properly now. So Paddy Hollywood has gone to Fiorentina for £2 million. What a piece of business that is, by the way. Bring a League Two goalkeeper in on a free transfer, keep him here for 6 months, never play him, sell him for £2 million. Works for me. Rory Murray went to Juventus in the strangest transfer in football history. So he's now a Juventus player. Conor McBride has gone on loan to Charlton down in the Championship, with a potential future fee on him as well. And with all that in mind, in addition to Vaughan, who we've already met, we've brought in the defender we were looking at, Giovanni Agume, who is our new record signing at £10 million. Unfortunately, he's not going to be available today. He's got a pulled abdominal muscle, so we're not going to meet him until the next episode. But he's 6'4", a meaty man, and will be our new starting centre back. And then we've addressed some of the other issues we've got in the squad. We have our striker. Remember I said I'd replace Carstairs in January, even if he was still Premier League top scorer. That's exactly what we've done. Stefan Musat is a 23-year-old Romanian international striker. He's 6'1". He's quick. He's a good finisher. He's my guy. We've got him in for £3.4 million on his release clause. You can see that he has a history of scoring a goal every other game, or I mean, he's getting a goal contribution in 75% of his matches, a goal every other game, and a career average of 7.41. Still only 23. He's going to be spectacular for us. And then we did another release clause. Francis Ansong is a 21-year-old German under-21 international. And we got him from Hertha for £1.5 million, which is an absolute bargain. Former Bayern youngster, was playing in the second tier in Germany, comes straight in with a value of £20 million. I think we finally have the attacking midfielder that we've been looking for. We're also trying to bring this guy in on loan from Wolves with a potential future fee as well. Franco Druskovic, just waiting for Wolves to rubber stamp that deal for us, and he can come in as a new winger, 6'2" of winger. Lovely, lovely stuff. And the team is starting to look like a team that's being put together for a sustained time in the Premier League. So this is the starting 11 for Burnley. Slocum in goal. We are going to need to bring another keeper in before the end of January, because this is the only other guy we've got, and I would hate to have to play him in a Premier League match. But it's Slocum in goal, a back four of Graben, Martin, Fanimo and Vaughan. Dixon and Christodoulou in midfield. Dabo, Newboy, Ansong and Williams behind Carstairs. Carstairs not being immediately slung out of the team. He still has an excellent goal record this year, but Musat is there on the bench and will come on, and I suspect will become our main man before too long. Ansong comes straight in because I still didn't know who my attacking midfielder was. I've used about 5 different guys in that position this season, so it's easy for him to just slot straight into the team. The Musat has to get past an established top goal scorer in the shape of Carstairs, but don't you worry, We'll have them both combining before long. We'll have our new big boy at the back. We should have a new proper winger in, so we don't have to play Williams out on the wing, because Williams really is a striker. And yeah, the team is slowly but surely starting to take shape and start to look like a Premier League team. The important thing is, and I do see this in the comments occasionally, people talking about a team of League Two players being in the Premier League. I mean, it was never a team of League Two players, but it was a team largely of Championship players who have the potential to become Premier League players. But the key about, see, again with him, the key about the new guys who are coming in, okay, he's a Championship player. But they've got potential to become Premier League players. They're going to turn into Premier League players in time. And that's important because we have long-term aspirations, not just to be in the Premier League. We want to win the Premier League. We've got 5 years before we move into that new ground. I think 5 years is long enough to get this team ready to win the Premier League. That's got to be the goal for the save now. We never thought we'd get to this point, but maybe that's what we're planning for now. And Williams puts us 1-0 up away against Burnley. I said he was a striker. He's demonstrated it there. We're having to play him out on the right wing at the moment because we don't really have another option. But he is a useful finisher as well. And we've got some pretty decent attacking options knocking about the place now, which is definitely a nice situation to be in. It's a nice problem to have so many strikers to choose from. Carstairs and Williams both playing out of their skin today because they know the new boys sat there on the bench ready to take either of their spots. So they're going to have to play well. Christodoulou already on a yellow card, charging around like a maniac. I mean, I know we've got him on a ball-winning midfielder instruction. A time will come where we have to stop him from doing that because he does just charge around like a madman. And that time he's charged around like a madman and scored an own goal as well. Our second own goal of the episode. This isn't something that I'd like to see us doing on a regular basis. Own goals don't seem like a lot of fun. But there's Christodoulou. I don't even know why he's ended up being the guy getting on the end of that. He's just sticking his foot in where it's not needed. Fanamo had that covered. Christodoulou taking the whole I am the midfield and the defence thing a little bit too far and costing us a goal there, really, because I think Fanamo probably had it dealt with. But it's Dabo with the corner. The in-swinger, Dixon, of course, a very big boy. Can't keep his header down, which is a little bit of a shame. Remains 1-1. We're going to offer some encouragement. We'd really like to win this game. I mean, it's an away game in the Premier League. An away game in the Premier League, a draw is always fine. But Burnley are down in 17th place. And we're looking at that league table and that points total thinking, one more win and we're there. We're definitely aiming at Dixon from these set pieces today. And sooner or later, he's going to make proper contact with one of them, you would hope. That one, again, looping over the crossbar. And it's 1-1. At half time. Come on, gentlemen, do a football. For goodness sake, won't somebody do a football? It remains 1-1. We are looking at Musat, wondering when we bring him on, although Carstairs is playing very, very well, so it's going to be a little bit harsh to haul him off. But I think with 20 minutes to go, he comes on regardless of how well Carstairs is playing, because we all want to have a look at him, don't we? We're all giddy in anticipation. We want to see the new boy, and that's exactly what we're going to see now. It's time for the new boy. But Christodoulou also needs to come off. Dixon also needs to come off. And I think we put Carstairs out onto one of the wings. He can go out onto the left-hand side. And Musat can come on up front. Right, I think that dog has stopped barking outside. It wasn't my dog, by the way. Someone said in the comments the other day, I can hear Dave in the background. You absolutely can't hear Dave in the background. Dave's a good boy. That's somebody else making all the noise out there. But yeah, Musat is on with 20 minutes to go. We really want him to come on and be a star. We're crossing our fingers. I've had exciting signings like this in series like this in the past that have absolutely flopped. I really, really want this guy to go on and become an absolute superstar. Couple of goals, 10 before the end of the season would be lovely. And then just go on and be an absolute superstar that either fires us to European qualification in a year or two, or we sell for £40 million to somebody good and fund the entire club with him for a few years. Either of them outcomes work for me. Fanamo is tiring. Graben is tiring. So this is not ideal. Castro can come on and play left back. He'll be fine. It seems silly that Martin is a left back. But, I mean, I suppose Smith could go there. We're just shuffling everybody around. Martin could go there. Can Vaughan play midfield? I mean, he should be able to, really. Can Castro? Not really. Vaughan's going to go into midfield and he's going to like it. It'll be fine. It might not be fine. But can we have a goal, please? I'd like Musat to grab his goal. Ansong with a through ball to Musat, and it will be absolutely perfect. That's the outcome that we're looking for. Or Vaughan onto anybody's head is fine as well. Vaughan to Castro, the two right backs combining, and it ends up going behind for another corner, but we didn't get to see the corner. But now we're in the 90th minute. And it's Burnley starting things off with a goal kick. But we've got the ball back. It is Ansong. Plays it over the top to Carstairs. Musat's in the middle. And he's scored on his debut. We have the new hero. Oh, what a time to be alive. It's Burnley 1, Wembley 2. And Musat is here. He is a Wembley boy. And this is, I mean, it's everything I ever dreamed of. Ansong played the ball. It's a beautiful ball over the top from Ansong to Carstairs. So the two debut boys very much involved in that. Such a tidy finish. And that is hopefully the winning goal. Although it looks like we've got to see another highlight, which nobody really wants to see in these circumstances. Smith to Martin, Vaughan. Actually not looking out of place in midfield. Ansong to Musat. Musat's beating the last defender. Shoots from range. Oh, he looks lively. He looks lively and ready for action, boys and girls. And we're in 6th in the Premier League. Now, we've played more games than everyone else around us. Don't get carried away. We're not getting into Europe this year. Unless he's as good as I hope he could be. Can you imagine? And we've still got half of January still to go. Oh, I'm having a lovely time. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.